What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Obviously, you're probably already know what we're going to be talking about today. Yeah, it's been a rough week for all of us. I think just watching innocent people get murdered on the streets on camera, and then watching the government back the murderer is insane, and it's kind of hard to process.
We're
I
used
think
to watching this in other countries, but now that it's in our own backyards, it hits a little different, I bet.
a little bit. So yeah, Alex Pretti was murdered by ICE. There is no other way to. That is the headline. That is it. That is all that should be said right now.
If you want to
Of course,
know,
MAGA are disgusting subhumans and are justifying the actions of ICE because they're
and this is
obedient sheep.
this is their opinion on the subject as of today. This was
Right. This is the
from
jokes that they're posting on like Facebook and shit.
yeah.
That's
I troll
crazy.
their Facebook pages just to see how despicable they are, and they're pretty despicable.
Yeah, just garbage. We're also going to talk about Donald Trump's recent trip to Switzerland, where he made a complete ass of himself, rambled for over an hour, and said absolutely nothing important.
He did shit
At this
himself at
point-
least once.
Oh, and probably multiple times. And then we're also going to talk about the Heritage Foundation is once again up to no good. They have a plan that they have put out for the next 250 years of America, and it is truly fucking horrifying. So yeah, we're going to talk about that too. But let's start with Donald Trump here in Davos, Switzerland. Not sure
Yeah.
if he's alive in this picture or who's
He
holding him up
exists
at this point.
I don't know. He exists in a weird state between death and life and fucking us over.
Like, look at that face, though. Like, just every
Why
day
is
I
there
wake
so
up
many
and-
pictures of him hiding behind flags? I feel like there's a bunch of pictures of him oddly close to flags.
He's so weird. But yeah, he rambled, like I said, for overnight. He went in talking all tough. I'm going to take Greenland and blah, 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 blah. Walked away with basically nothing.
Well, from what one of the things that I didn't look into what he said specifically, but apparently he was telling some reporter that they have a framework of a deal for long-term military presence. We already have that. That's called NATO.
Right. We literally have military bases on almost, I believe, every NATO.
Yeah, every NATO member.
Almost
yeah.
every NATO country we have a military base on, pretty much.
So he
That's why-
negotiated. He quote negotiated the deal we already have.
Right. He's like, no, I want it to be sovereign U.S. soil. They're like, whatever, bro. Just shut the fuck up already.
Yeah,
And then
he
he's talking
tacoed his
about-
way out of there.
Right. And of course, this is about oil and resources. That's all this is ever about for these rich assholes. Because that's what they want out of Greenland, or as Donald Trump calls it, Iceland. He did refer to it as Iceland multiple times throughout his speech.
God. Did you see the one picture where after when he walked away from the podium, which he was holding onto for dear life, you actually see an image of the bottom side of his hand, and it's all like bright white and bright red because he was just clamping onto that podium with dear life. This guy can barely stand for long periods of time anymore.
His health is
he can't
bad.
walk in a straight line. He's
Mm-mm.
slurring his words. His face is drooping. He's making no sense. He's confusing countries he's in. But he's still dear leader and daddy to so many.
I know, right? Like, seriously, if you're a dude and you've ever been in my comments calling Trump, saying Trump's your daddy, or if you've ever referred to Trump as daddy, just come out of the closet already, bro.
Again, what
Like,
people don't
come on,
understand
man.
is we are okay. We are accepting of
That's good,
everybody.
right? Yeah, he said that's
You
okay.
should be more accepting of who you are, but you
It's
grew
like
up
Jesse
in a
Waters on
creepy
Fox
family
News.
problem.
He loves calling Trump daddy.
He does.
I bet he fantasizes about it.
Oh, he definitely does.
Ew. So weird. But these people are so out of touch with reality. Just to give you an example, I just want to show you just a clip of some of the stuff that's being said by these rich assholes, because they really don't know what it's like living a normal American life. Not most of these people that are involved with this, if not all of them, have been handed
Is this
everything.
the 5, 10, or 12 houses comment?
Yes, Scott.
Ah.
What planet are you from, dude? Most people in America do not own one house. And he seems to think that when we all retire, we get 5, 6, 12 houses. What are we talking about here? But it just goes to show you how out of touch they are. Were you? Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
I'll say it after the video.
All right, let me show the clip.
We are going to give guidance at some point to see what is a mom and pop that someone, maybe your parents for their retirement, about 5, 10, 12 homes. So we don't want to push the mom and pops out. We just want to push everyone else out.
So a mom and pop operation for retirement is to have 5, 10, or 12 homes to manage as a landlord.
Right.
See, this guy said the loud part loud, okay? Because they've been telling us for years that the way to succeed, the way to build for retirement is to put money in the stock market, all right, and let rich assholes play around with your money to make profit. But now he's telling you, really, everyone should just own land. Just own land, and then this way everyone could rent to everyone. No one owns anything. Everyone's renting. You're a landlord, and when you retire, you'll just be a land baron with 12 homes that you can.
Yeah, that's how it works in reality. What are
Like,
you talking about?
These people don't understand the basic concept of people losing their homes for having to pay medical bills. Their only home, because most people only aspire, if they do aspire to own a home, to just own the one. Not everyone wants to be a landlord. And if you're going to start saying that the best way and the normal way to save for retirement is to continue working as a landlord with 12 houses.
Yeah,
come on.
Awesome.
Yeah,
super
that
awesome.
sounds realistic.
All right, so let's get into some of the shit that Donald Trump says. One, here he admits that he's a dictator, which we already knew. But this is why Donald Trump wants to be a dictator. He wants to be referred to as a dictator. What the fuck do you think ICE is? It's the Gestapo. Germany is literally saying, hey, ICE is looking awful SS-ish. You know what I'm saying? And if Germany is saying it, I think we should listen. But MAGA is, again, mush brains. No, listening and critical thinking is not their thing. So here's Donald Trump admitting that.
We had a good speech. We got great reviews. I can't believe it. We got good reviews in that speech. Usually they say he's a horrible dictator type person. I'm a dictator. But sometimes you need a dictator. But they didn't say that in this case. And no, it's common sense. It's all based on common sense. You know, it's not concerned.
Yeah, common sense with Trump. Man, drives me nuts. But no, this guy wants to be, Kim Jong-un. He wants to be Netanyahu. He wants to be Putin. Like, this
he
guy
wants to be feared because
pictures of these dudes.
He doesn't understand respect because he never respected his father. He feared his father because his dad was a tyrant. He doesn't rule his businesses, his companies, or this country like a leader. He tries to rule like a tyrant. He wants people to fear him because the only understanding of respect that Donald Trump has is fear and wealth.
Right.
If he respects you because your money, he's really jealous because he's afraid he doesn't have enough and he isn't the best. That's it. He just has fear as his only motivating factor. Either he's afraid he's not the best or he's afraid people don't see him as the best. That's it.
Right. Like, it's the whole, like, the doctor report. He's 6'2".
Okay.
185. It was like built like a wide receiver. I'm like,
his diaper might be 185.
Right. Speaking of, anyway, here's Donald Trump calling himself daddy again. Because for those of you who don't know, I forget who it was. Was it the Prime Minister of France? Was it? Anyway, made a funny comment about like daddy's home, and Donald Trump interpreted that as him calling him daddy, which is just weird.
Is that where that came from? Does he really think that's what's happening?
Yes, he really thinks that other world leaders are out there calling him fucking daddy. First of all,
that makes sense because he doesn't understand humor. He doesn't understand sarcasm.
Well, it also makes sense because he likes underage kids. So I guess being referred to as daddy is probably comfortable for him. Haha. Anyway, here's the video of that.
Europe, I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me. They called me daddy, right? Last time. Very smart man said, he's our daddy. He's running it. I was like running it.
No, the fuck he did not say that. He loves it, man. He honestly, in his mind, thinks that leaders of Europe are out there just saying daddy.
This Trump. Is why he's
I fucking hate this reality.
He's going hard because he's got dementia and he's losing control of himself, but also because they just don't tell him the negatives. They don't tell him the bad polls. They don't show him what people truly feel about him.
No.
All right. When he goes to those games, those sporting events, and people boo him, he thinks it's like a joke, or he thinks it's like fake. He doesn't understand. People almost unanimously in this country now hate him. Yeah, there's still Trumpers. There's still MAGA lunatic faithfuls. But the overall, overwhelming consensus in this country is that Donald Trump is a piece of shit, and they're sick of him. And he cannot get that through his head because he is so delusional.
He is a giant orange shit stain on American society. That's for sure. We've been set back. I don't even know how many years this is going to take us to get out of this, if we ever get out of this. Because once we start talking about ICE, you'll kind of get the picture of what's really happening. Hopefully people start seeing the bigger picture here, that they're coming after all of us. All of us. If you are not 100% with this billionaire pedo shit, Nazi Gestapo stuff, then you're the enemy. They're mass surveillance is real. Compiling watch lists, which I'm sure I'm on.
Yeah, don't use TikTok anymore, because TikTok is the app they chose to.
People are like, you got to be careful, and they're right. And I'm like, is that even possible anymore? I guarantee I'm on a watch list. I fucking
we're all on lists.
I did a stream in front of the Heritage Foundation building while they had a camera out front filming all of us.
We're all on lists.
Sure, yeah, we're all on a list. All right, but anyway, here he is rambling. And again, he rambled for like an hour and 15 minutes. But here he is talking about Greenland and World War II.
Then after the war, which we won it big. Without us, right now, you'd all be speaking German and a little Japanese, perhaps.
Swiss people actually speak German, so...
After the war, we gave Greenland...
A little Japanese. The Japanese had nothing to do with the European
How
front.
stupid were we to do that? But we did it. But we gave it.
We gave Greenland back. And of course, Donald Trump's justification for wanting Greenland is, you guys just landed a boat there like a long time ago.
So I forgot who it was that was making a joke that said, well, if that's the case, England should buy America back.
Right. Or Mexico should buy this land, or the indigenous people should get their land back. You know what I'm saying? Because
there's a couple of funny maps going around of what the U.S. should look like if it falls, about how like half the U.S. from the south up, from the north up is going to be Canada, and from the south down is going to be Mexico, like it was before we decided to carve up this country.
It's crazy. There's a show, I believe it's called Man in the High Castle. It's a fictional show, really good, but it's all about like what life would have been like had Germany and Japan won World War II and the United States fell, and half the country was controlled by Japan and the other half was controlled by the Nazis. And in the middle, you had like just this dead zone of chaos and lawlessness. Yeah. So fiction always becomes
reality. Which ironically is where we're headed now in the U.S., being a lawless country.
Right. I mean, our government is not following the rules. They're not following judges' orders. I have proof of that because they were ordered not to use tear gas or any other kinds of gas. And they still are. So they do not care. They are just doing what they want. And that's why I keep telling people, like, I keep making videos about this because, like, Mike is not into guns. Okay. Probably didn't really much believe in owning one. But even Mike at this point is like, you know what I mean? But like, I always encourage people, don't just go buy one and take it home and then just pretend like you know how to use it. You know what I'm saying? Go to an instructor, learn how to professionally handle one and get comfortable with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we live in insane times where unfortunately I have to promote stuff like that. Don't be a victim. You know what I'm saying? Have some means to protect yourself. I don't care what it is.
How about this? At the very least, people need to start having plans for what happens or what they're going to do when ICE starts rolling through their neighborhoods, because
it's everywhere
they're doing it and they're not going to stop. Now, the only thing saving us right now from this happening everywhere in the country is that there are not enough ICE agents to be able to do this nationwide. They can't do it. So they're being selective. For example, if they were really going after illegal immigration, they would go to the red states where illegal immigration and illegal employment is way higher than in blue states. But instead, they're going to blue states because this is just a political show. But people need to be ready for what's going to happen when ICE agents roll through their town. How are you going to react? How are you going to handle seeing that threat in real time for the first time? And what
Well,
are you going to do when they're coming door to door? Because that is happening.
Yeah, the Fourth Amendment doesn't mean shit now. Donald Trump seems to think like now ICE agents don't even need a judicial warrant to break your door down. All they need is an administrative warrant, which they can really just fill the fuck out in their cars.
Yeah, that's just
that's real
nonsense.
Right. And we obviously see that they don't give a shit about the Second Amendment because Alex Pretti was legally carrying a firearm and probably wouldn't even have never carried it. Or maybe he does all the time. But I'm saying the reason people are starting to carry is because they're shooting us in the fucking streets.
How about this? It's the exact reason that he had his gun, that Kyle Rittenhouse, everyone defended him for having his gun, even though his was across state lines and illegal. But the point is, if you're going to use that argument for Kyle Rittenhouse, you better use that argument here, because people in this country have a right to have guns. Mm-hmm. And in some states, you have a right to open carry that weapon. So you're going to tell me that people have to choose which right they're going to enact? You either can protest, or you can have a gun, or can you go to a protest with a gun, because that is your right as an American citizen.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, being armed, if you're peacefully protesting, doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Just because you're armed doesn't mean you're not being peaceful. But they're trying to paint this guy out like he was waving his gun around and chasing ICE officers, and like they were afraid for their lives and all this bullshit. The same story they told us when they murdered Renee Good. You know what I'm saying?
And the same story they're going to tell us the next time they murder someone. Because this isn't ending.
No, we told you guys when Renee Good died, this is going to continue to happen, and it's probably going to continue to happen in a higher frequency now that they see they're getting away with it. Now that they see the government, every time they shoot somebody and the government not only doesn't reprimand them, prosecute them, they still get to go to fucking work the next day like nothing happened. That's crazy. 6 figures. Why are we paying taxes at this point? I mean, fucking Congress is going to screw us. There are rumors, though, that the Senate may turn this down. So there is a little bit of hope that they don't get additional funding. But why are we paying taxes for this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see how our taxes are benefiting us at all at this point. At all. They're not being used for anything that benefits American people. It's all to stroke Donald Trump's stupid ass ego. All right, moving on. I don't want to talk about Donald Trump anymore. He can eat a dick. But anyway, I will show you one post that he made just to show you how stupid this guy is. Okay, Donald Trump doesn't understand the differences in the concepts of weather and climate. Donald Trump doesn't understand the difference. Those are two totally different things. Okay, so he posted this. Record cold wave expected to hit 40 states. Rarely seen anything like it before. Could the environmental insurrectionists please explain whatever happened to global?
Now, you noticed they're using the term insurrectionist for a lot of different things now. I've noticed that. You're seeing Pam Bondi use it. You're seeing Kristi Noem use it. They're basically trying to paint anyone that doesn't acquiesce to fascism, to Donald Trump's regime, they're insurrectionists.
Yeah.
They hijacked the word insurrectionists. The actual fucking insurrectionists have successfully hijacked the word insurrection.
What was the word they used in Project 2025 for environmentalism? Was it pseudo-religion?
Oh, yeah. They said it's environmentalism is a pseudo-religion.
A pseudo-religion is what they think it is.
Yeah, no, we don't have a book that we go, ooh, that says to do this. We must do this. That's a religion.
Pray to the trees and shit. I don't even know where they're going.
Hey, with that, at least trees give us shade and fruit.
and oxygen. And oxygen. You know, that stuff that we breathe.
I am telling you right now, I am much more inclined to pray to a tree than anything else.
I love how they want to increase the population through excessive breeding, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But then they want to cut down all the trees and pump oil and toxic gas into the air. Okay, yeah, great. We're going to have a bunch of people that can't breathe the air anymore. So we're right on track. It's like hell on earth right now. It really sucks. But anyway, let's talk about the Heritage Foundation, because they are, again, up to no good. And again, they are the shadow government that MAGA was always against. Like, they write the policies. They run the show from behind the scenes. Stephen Miller and his little minions, Kevin Roberts and all those people there. They're truly
Little
horrible,
pack of
evil people.
jackals, pack of
Yeah,
Nazis. They are the true Nazis, the
Mhm.
actual true Nazis.
Yeah, being in front of their building. I mean, I'll tell you what. When I was there for the first time, I was gonna do a live stream from there, and I had to walk away because I got so angry. And that place fills me with rage. I hate what they're doing. But Mike's got some information on
So
what they're up to next.
they have a new document, a new special report they put out.
Wonderful.
It's very similar in scope and intent to Project 2025. Project 2025 was a layout of how to take over the government and basically turn it into an evangelical fascist Christo state. Well, they now have a new document that is called Saving America by Saving the Family, a foundation for the next 250 years. Now, I apologize. There's a few lengthy passages I want to read because they tell you exactly what their plan is. And before I continue reading, I'm going to do a little brief. This plan is to eradicate gay people and to put women back in the kitchen. That is what this plan is, because we all know what the evangelical idea of family means. It means Stone Age beliefs and bullshit. And they talk in this document about how it's hurtful to the family that we talk about people having careers before they think about having children, and they should be focusing on breeding before they worry about anything else in their lives. And the family is only a certain definition, and they go on to define it. And here we go. So I apologize for the lengthiness of this, but it's important because this is the pages ripped from the document itself. So, to end America's family crisis, policymakers and civic leaders should treat restoring the family home as a matter of justice, driven by two truths. The first is that all children have a right to the affection and protection of the man and woman who created them. The second is that the ideal environment in which to exercise this right is in a loving and stable home with their married biological parents. By contrast, the default in American culture today is to put the desire of the adults over the needs of the children. The children are too often called to sacrifice what is due to them, the presence of their mom and dad under the same roof for the entirety of their childhood. So,
what the fuck?
What they're trying to tell you right now is the only thing that people should worry about is those years between 0 and 18. And the rest of your life shouldn't matter. All you should do is breed and make sure that when you have bred, you got to keep your mind just on those kids, because it's so impossible to have a life that doesn't look exactly the way it did in the Stone Age, that we can't live differently, that we can't have more aspirations, that we can't focus on just breeding. But here we go. They continue to hammer the point home. The family is the foundation of civilization, and marriage, the committed union of one man and one woman, so there goes gay marriage, is its cornerstone. It is the seedbed of self-government. The home is where fathers, mothers, and their children cultivate virtue and practice cooperation, responsibility, stewardship, and self-reliance. Sidebar, that also means they don't see a use for public education, because that's exactly what public education is for. Without families, a country cannot create meaningful work and prosperity, because work, got to work yourself to death. Here you go. It lacks a storehouse of strong and brave men to protect itself from hostile aggressors at home and abroad. So, no women in the military. It lacks even the ingredients for responsible citizen itself, without which no republic is possible. Marriage, in its essence, is the formal social recognition of two truths. First, it takes one fertile male and one fertile female to bear children, which means they're going to set it up that if you can't bear children, you can't be married. Second, all things being equal, children should be raised in a stable home by their married mother and father. They're self-fulfilling the definition of marriage to say that marriage should be about marriage. These are not sectarian claims. Historically, virtually all known cultures have an institution that one can call marriage involving a man and a woman. Even in the case of polygamy, the spousal relationship is between a male and one of more females.
Oh, so that's okay. Okay. No gay marriage, but you can have as many wives as you want.
And if you can't have kids, you shouldn't be married, because the only purpose of being married is to have kids. I'll tell you what, my wife and I have a different opinion on that. So these are key takeaways listed on their website. These are not curated by Wikipedia. These are not Google AI. These are the bullet points that they have on their website before you click to read the full document. Number 1, the family is the foundation of civilization, and marriage, the committed union of one man and one woman, is the cornerstone. It is the seedbed of self-government. 2, the question that will determine the course of America's future is, what happens to a nation when its citizens largely stop having children and eschew marriage? So they're obsessed with birth rates. 3, the only way for America to thrive in the future is to rebuild the family, which can only happen with a social commitment to revive the institution of marriage.
What the
Now, we keep saying that they're obsessed with birth
so
because
weird.
they have dozens of pages dedicated to birth rate charts and analysis in this document. Go look for it yourselves. It's available online. Specifically, they care about the dropping below replacement concept. Fertility rates in the U.S. dropped below replacement levels in the early 1970s and have remained below that threshold nearly every year since. Analysts attribute declining fertility in the 1960s and 70s to 3 main factors: the surge of women entering the labor force, the introduction of the birth control pill in the 60s,
there goes that.
and nationwide legalization of abortion in the 70s. So they want to get rid of women working, birth control, and abortion.
Well, here's the kicker, though.
Right there.
Here's the kicker. They also want to push fertility drugs. I remember RFK specifically talking about that. What happens if they start putting... I'm not going to go full tinfoil hat here, but, what if they just start putting it in shit?
How about this?
Just to make everybody
Our government currently puts fluoride in the water, which does not harm you and keeps our teeth from falling out of our skulls. So if a shitty, evil government wants to do something similar when there's no checks and balances and no journalism and no media reporting on it, who's to say what a truly fascist government would do? We know that governments already do secret experiments on its population.
We have to
all cultures have done that.
I think we have to legitimately think extreme when it comes to this, because we are obviously living in extreme times with people that are willing to do anything to get their way.
There's a difference between conspiracy theory and trying to extrapolate what could happen with reasonable circumstances and unreasonable times. Right. If you read that last thing I said about the dropping birth rate, that reads like chapter 1 of The Handmaid's Tale. Like, I'm not kidding. That literally reads like chapter 1 of The Handmaid's Tale.
It's horrifying to see this happening, especially to women, because honestly, it kind of feels like a common theme, what we're going to talk about here soon. Because prove me wrong, I guarantee more women get assaulted by ICE than men.
Oh, absolutely.
I guarantee more women have suffered injuries at the hands of these men in masks than anyone else. Because every other video I see is them just beating the shit out of a woman, pepper spraying a woman, knocking a woman to the ground, allegedly taking a woman into a porta potty. There's significant reports of rape and sexual assault in ICE facilities. And again, we are dealing with the worst of society. Proud Boys, 3%ers, every hate group that also hates women, that you have to hate women to be okay with this. You have to truly just despise and have no respect for women and what they are capable of. We can barely pass a fucking kidney stone without wanting to murder ourselves. And women grow children inside of them and shoot them out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen 2 childbirths. Like, no way in hell you can convince me that women have a much higher tolerance for pain. Like, women are
God.
They just hate women that are
hate women
and have complex thinking. And
the reason they hate women is because they know how they treat women. So they believe if women aren't treated that way, men would get treated that way, and they don't want to be treated like they treat women. It's as simple as that. You're only afraid of how another group might treat you, or you're only let me rephrase this. You're only concerned about another group getting rights if you know how you would act with those rights, and it would be in an oppressive way. That's a cognitive dissonance, because they can't figure that out, but it's in actuality what they're doing. They look at women and go, no, women are supposed to be down here because men are supposed to be up here. If women are equal to us, then men aren't special anymore. And if we're not special, why would anyone listen to us?
Wow. white male fragility.
It is the cornerstone of everything wrong with this world,
bro.
is white male fragility.
That's pretty much the entire patriarchy, just insecure men with tiny dicks who can't satisfy a woman. You know what I'm saying? With too much money and power. That's literally what we're dealing with right now. But anyway, let's talk. We've got to talk about Alex Pretti now. Some of the videos I'm going to show you are pretty graphic. I did try to do my best to blur out Alex actually getting shot. But I want to show you the angle that I feel is best shows what happened. And let's be clear, Alex Pretti died saving a woman from being attacked by ICE. There was this little shithead. I guess actually, let me pull this picture up right here. This little fucker in this orange beanie is the cause of everything. He would not let it go. You can see he first attacks the woman. Alex goes to protect the woman. Then he attacks Alex like, how dare you get in between me and the woman I want to beat up? You know what I'm saying? And they just wouldn't let it go. And it escalated and escalated and escalated. They didn't even know he had a gun until he was on the ground for several seconds. Like, so they did not know.
Like, and why? Because he didn't pull his gun. He had
never once did he pull his gun out.
He didn't pull it. So the idea that he went there to cause carnage just because he had a gun in several clips as his right as an American citizen, the narrative doesn't hold up. Sorry, because he was not aiming his gun. He didn't even touch his gun.
No.
And you could see, because there's another camera angle with footage where you could see them actually taking his gun out of its holster.
Yeah, and then they walk away with it.
So how was he taking his gun out and waving it around and threatening them if they didn't know he had a gun until they were on top of him?
But here's what
2
kills
seconds
me.
Before they shot him.
And like I said, these are not soldiers. These are untrained idiots, okay? They're not even cops. They've had 40-some-odd days of training.
They're literally Proud Boys and former January 6th insurrectionists. That's who these people are.
People that are too dumb to be in the military are now working for ICE. But this is just to show you, this was Alex Pretti's last actions before getting murdered. There you go. Look, he just keeps on him. Just
because they're being told they have authority to act with impunity, and then when someone gets in their way, they use that authority to act like jackboot thugs. It's really not that complicated. The audacity for someone to stand up to these people is despicable.
Yeah.
Thank you, and so much for gifting memberships. Much appreciated.
Definitely appreciate it. Oh, yeah, I guess now's a good time to remind everybody that I am going to Philadelphia next week. Actually, this week. Next week, whatever. Thursday, I'll be in Philadelphia Thursday to Sunday. Going to hang out with the Black Panther Party down there and see what they're all about. There's supposed to be some kind of big ceremony that I'm invited to. A lot of people have been invited. Actually, they've been opening it up to the public.
Yeah, I saw that.
People reaching out from Philly, being like, "We got to hang out when you get here." Yeah, it's been a crazy week on social media. It's been really cool. Then on the 27th and 28th of next month, where I'm going back to DC. There's going to be another big ass rally down there. So I'm hoping to spend another 4 or 5 days there. If you guys want to help the cause and help support our work, we do have our GoFundMe as well as Venmo and CashApp in the description of the video. Or if you know of anybody that might be willing to help us out, that would be greatly appreciated. Of course, we cannot do what we do without you. So we greatly appreciate all the help you guys have given us over the last couple of years. So, all right, back to the show. Now I want to show you the moment that Alex gets killed. Disarmed. He gets disarmed in this video. So the guy has his gun, walks away. I don't even think most of the agents realize he had a gun.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't shoot him. They didn't yell gun and then shoot his ass. They took his gun, walked away.
And then shot him.
And then shot an unarmed man on the ground.
Execution style, by the way.
First, they pepper sprayed him. Then they pushed him to the ground. Then they took his gun. And then they murdered him. So I blocked out as much as I could because I don't know how YouTube is with this shit. There's no blood, but it's still pretty horrifying.
They're doing too much, man. And they keep pushing people, you know?
All right, so he's still armed right now. still armed. They don't even know it yet. They're beating the shit out of him.
Oh shit! What
That
the
guy
fuck?
walking away towards us is the guy with the
They
gun.
killed him? Did they fucking kill that guy? Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
That one guy just walked up and shot him.
Not
right
again.
there.
Are you fucking kidding me? That guy's dead.
And now they scatter like rats.
Yeah. And you could tell, though, there are some ICE agents that were not prepared to see what they saw. I'm not saying good on ICE, but I have a feeling that a lot of these idiots didn't sign up for this shit. They just saw 6-figure salaries. They thought they could harass some marginalized communities. You know what I'm saying? They thought they were going to have some fun, throw some tear gas. You could tell a couple of those ICE agents were horrified by what they saw. There was one guy who was ripping his shirt open trying to save his life. Obviously, you get shot. I counted 10 or 11 shots. You get shot that many times, chances are you're not going to survive.
How about this?
But I have a feeling we're going to see a drop off of ICE agents.
It's
really
funny
soon.
you say that. I was just going to say we'll see how many people actually stand by their morality and leave.
And we
ICE.
haven't even shot back yet. And I say yet because it's going to happen. Because this is the whole fucking plan, guys. They want to invoke the Insurrection Act. So we weren't violent on our own. So what do? They put armed taxpayer-funded thugs into the street to cause violence and to cause a reaction. And as soon as we react, they're going to invoke the Insurrection Act. That's why I'm so sick of people being like, oh, we'll just wait till November. Are you fucking that naive right now? You've seen multiple people get murdered now. I say multiple because I know there's at least one more that's questionable. They carried off a man. They look like they broke his neck, but we never could verify if he was dead or alive. Ann, thank you so much.
That's awesome. You've been a member for 7 months. And yes, we did hear about the YouTuber that went viral because they caught the flu. Thank you.
So this did not need to happen. And this only happened again because this guy right here in this orange fucking beanie couldn't control his shit. His tiny little dick and balls, his mangina got hurt. And he fucking couldn't handle his shit and ended up causing this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are the biggest.
Look, they're the paid agitators. They keep saying one thing I heard Christy Nome say is, how are these people showing up with signs that are written so nicely? And how are they showing up with tear gas masks, with gas masks? Well, number one, you could buy things on Amazon and have them ship overnight. That's number one. Number two, some people have decent penmanship and they can write on a sign. I don't know. What kind of fucking objection is that?
I went to Staples, bought a paint marker and a poster board.
It's not that hard. It's not. I don't understand. Like, they're trying to make these protests seem like they're spontaneous, aggressive reactions to simply having people do their job and get rid of the bad, dangerous people. Well, you know what? That guy that they just murdered was an ICU nurse. Okay.
At a VA hospital.
At a VA hospital. He didn't harm anyone. They're not taking away murderers, gang members, rapists, drug dealers. They're taking away people that are bringing their kids to school and they're throwing their kids in fucking detention centers. That's what when ICE isn't out there murdering people in the streets, they're kidnapping children, sending them across state lines to detention centers in other states. That's what's fucking happening.
Go on social media. There's videos of kids screaming and crying in ICE detention facilities.
But that Nazi prick, what's his name, Bovino, said we are specialists in childcare. He said that the other day on a podium when people
are specialists in child molestation, but other than that, I don't know about anything.
Well, look, the ICE is treating American citizens the way Donald Trump and billionaires treat American citizens. They're raping them from their rights, their dignity, their own personal space. That is what's happening. These are people that are used to abusing other people and treating them how they want to get something from them, whether that's submission, whether that's something else. I don't know. But this ICE is treating American citizens the way Donald Trump treated those underage girls in the Epstein files. That's what's happening.
We're being abused. Okay. This is the video that sent me over the edge yesterday. And this proves my theory that ICE is enjoying themselves. Because, again, they're filled with a bunch of hate. And I hope you guys know that this is not forever. Anybody that's out there working for ICE, this will end. one way, shape, or form. And Donald Trump, Daddy Trump, can't protect you forever. Okay. And just following orders will not save you. I promise you that.
Well, I want to quickly address this comment, if possible, from Doctor Who fan. Don't you, as a U.S. citizen, have the Second Amendment?
Yeah.
So we're finding out now what the Second Amendment really is all about. And what I mean by that is it's not real. Because if a government is going to take away your rights, and you have a right in your Constitution to defend yourself, then do it. Don't just say you're going to do it. But if a fascist government is going to shoot someone because they legally had a gun in a state they can legally carry, then we don't have the Second Amendment. Because let's face it, most people were never going to use the Second Amendment and attack people in uniform.
No.
The idea that the Second Amendment was there to protect us from an overbearing government.
Right.
It's great in theory when we used to have adults that could semi-read. But now that we're infested by people that are ignorant, stupid, hateful, racist, bigots, and they're just obsessed with having guns, they were never going to fight against the tyrannical government because they were always advocating for that tyrannical government. These people that are Second Amendment worshipers always wanted a government that oppressed black people and brown people and minorities and gay people. They always wanted their government to be oppressive to other people, never to themselves. So even though they're now attacking people that are legally carrying their guns, the Second Amendment people aren't going to care because it wasn't the right type of person. It wasn't someone on their side of the political spectrum.
Yeah.
So yes, we have the Second Amendment, but it never meant anything, and it certainly doesn't right now.
I believe we, up until this point, had a government that was afraid of the people, which is the way it should be. And Donald Trump has flipped that around to make it so the people are afraid of the government. And the Second Amendment only works if the government is afraid of the people. It's the only way it works, guys. So if we're not going to do anything and exercise our constitutional rights, it may as well not exist at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why we even bother with guns. And they're trying to, for some reason, they're trying to make it easier for people to get guns too. Like that's going to help. Of course, they're going to start restricting who you get. Like Jesus Christ, have you seen the new terms and conditions on TikTok? Geolocation, gender, race, country of origin, like all kinds of information they are starting to track. They're using all these as weapons against this. But all right, I'm getting off topic here. I want to show you the video that sent me over the edge yesterday. Okay, in case you guys have not seen this video, this proves my point that ICE is actually enjoying themselves. This guy claps after he gets murdered. I don't know if you saw this. You saw this video, right, Mike?
Yes.
Yeah, but here we go. So he was happy about it.
Look, they go after this. They're all going to the bar doing shots and praising each other for killing someone.
For real. Yeah. It's pretty sick, right? So they're desperately trying to paint Alex Pretti as some sort of villain, and it's not working. Every time they do this, the only people that believe this still are the brain dead MAGA supporters that only watch Fox News. But here's Greg Bovino. Fox is even turning on him after this. But I feel like they're reading from a script. First, here's what Christine Ohm says about what happened here.
Individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently. Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots.
Okay, that's a lie.
I mean, look, George Orwell said it best. When the government is fascist, they're going to tell you to ignore what you see and what you hear.
Yeah.
We all saw the video. Every second there's clarifying videos coming out, making it even more obvious what happened. And then they're going on there without any compunction and lying through the skin of their teeth. Right there. They're just lying so easily about something we can all see because they can't tell the truth, because the minute they tell the truth, their power collapses. So they are going to lie about every one of these murders They will
Oh, yeah.
lie when they are on trial for these murders. They
Oh,
are
yeah.
going to lie the whole time because that's what they are.
Yep. So you heard what she said. Now tell me this isn't scripted. And they just have no souls whatsoever. They literally wrote a script and passed it around like, this is what you tell the press.
An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun.
That's the same
The
thing.
agents attempted to disarm the individual, but he violently resisted.
It's the same statement. You couldn't even come up with an original statement, you psychopath.
Also, when you say violently resisted, the guy's got to try and throw at least one punch. He never even raises his hands to the agents. He turns his back to protect the woman, and they just swing and beat on him and jump on him. He never once even takes a fucking swing at the agents, let alone brandishing his gun. They're literally saying that he was waving his gun around, and you could see in the video the entire time he doesn't have a gun in his hand.
Right. Here, Christine calls him a domestic terrorist. What is, these people are so sick, man.
And a fraud that they have allowed to happen. Yes.
The White House has labeled the man who was killed in Minnesota as a domestic terrorist. Is that something you agree with? And have you seen any evidence to
When
back
you
up that
perpetuate
claim?
violence against a government because of ideological reasons and for reasons to resist and perpetuate violence, that is the definition of domestic terrorism. This individual who came with weapons and ammunition to stop a law enforcement operation of federal law enforcement officers committed an act of domestic
You
terrorism.
don't know
That's
that.
the
You're
facts.
assuming motive. You don't know that. She just literally broke all protocol for any sort of investigation or incident. He showed up to a protest to exercise his First Amendment right, exercising his Second Amendment right in a state that allowed you to do so openly. And she's saying he went there with multiple magazines to cause trouble. You don't know that.
They haven't even, they haven't even done an
assuming
investigation.
You don't
They haven't
know.
They haven't even looked at his social media. They have looked at nothing about this. As a matter of fact,
you know what this is? Defamation.
Right? They left Pretti's belongings on the ground because they fled the scene, obviously, after they just got done murdering somebody. They had to go to the bar and get their drinks. So a crowd of people ended up putting barriers around Pretti's like jacket and shit. So it wouldn't be touched. Like the American people were doing more than the U.S. government. But just so you can see how batshit crazy Donald Trump is about this, this was his response. Among other things, this is a cover-up for the billions of dollars that have been stolen from the once great state of Minnesota. A cover-up. What the fuck are you talking about? A cover-up?
Like that doesn't even make, you can't even like, there's no grain of reality in that. A cover-up. So in Minnesota, they paid the ICE agents to shoot a guy to cover up from some fake scandal that doesn't exist that you keep perpetuating.
Right, because Somali daycares committed fraud. Alex, I don't even know how to connect those dots.
There are no dots. The only
there
dots,
are no dots on this.
There's no fucking dots.
There's no rhyme or reason. CNN pushes back on Greg Bovino, though. Greg Bovino. Yeah, Greg Bovino. No. What the hell is the name of the guy, the little weasel that runs ICE?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, is it? Okay, who am I thinking of then? It doesn't matter. But it's a pretty heated
what you were saying
exchange.
Is
Sorry,
that he went there to
remove this. Add this back in.
This law enforcement operation. All of the video that we
So again, they're claiming he went there with intent to stop them, which they have absolutely zero proof
have
of.
seen shows him documenting it with his cell phone, which is a lawful thing to do. And the only time he seemed to interact with law enforcement is when they went after him when he was trying to help an individual who law enforcement pushed down.
Attacked him first.
Where do you have the evidence to show that he was trying to impede that that law enforcement operation?
That guy just gonna lie right
Dan,
through
at first
his
he was there in the scene. He was in the scene actively impeding and assaulting law enforcement to the point.
But that's not illegal.
He was standing on the side of the road. How are you impeding shit?
Because they don't want legal observers to be a thing. They don't want anyone to observe what they're doing.
This is why I ordered the Meta glasses. My buddy's been on my case about it. This is why we all need to start thinking smarter, body cams instead of holding our phones up. Or if you can, get the smart glasses. There's not, you get more than just the Meta. There's a bunch of them out there. We need to be more creative because they are going after people that are holding their cell phones up. They're taking cell phones. They're even arresting witnesses. Like people that witnessed this murder got detained. That's
They're
crazy.
they're trying to scare them.
impeding
They're
it.
trying
He
to
was
threaten
filming
them.
it, which
They're
is a
trying to
legal thing to
make
do
them
in the
afraid to
United
tell the
States of
truth.
America.
Let's don't freeze frame
See,
adjudicate this.
there's the
now.
gun. So
He
the
was
gun
there
is
for a
gone.
reason,
Let's
and
don't
that reason was to
freeze.
impede-
Let's
All
not
of the videos
freeze
that we have
frame it.
seen
Sorry,
and
I had to cut it.
Yeah, let's not freeze frame it like they do in
Sure,
courts
Dana,
of
first,
law.
He was there in the scene. He was in the scene,
Sorry.
active.
Let me fast forward a little bit more.
legal
Hit the
thing
wrong
to
button.
do in the United States.
All
of
right,
America.
so
let's don't.
right there, the gun is out. He is at this point disarmed and not a threat, unless you're a giant pussy like these ICE agents. And plus, there's a fucking 12 of them. There's a dozen of them. How are you feel? How is your life threatened by one man? You have an actual gang of people around you, and this is such bullshit,
Don't
guys.
freeze frame adjudicate this now. He was there for a reason, and that reason was to impede law enforcement.
What evidence do you have of that?
And here's a good point, Dana, is the fact that de-escalation techniques were utilized.
No, they
during this
weren't.
action.
No, they
Those
weren't.
de-escalation
Where were they
techniques, whether it
utilized?
was physically
They were
trying to
pushing
remove
women to the
them
ground
from
and
that law
spraying them
enforcement
with
scene,
mace.
that active law enforcement scene in which law
They're
enforcement
literally
were
just
going
telling
after a
you not to
violent
see,
illegal
not to believe
alien.
what you're seeing.
Or
They're playing the
use of
footage
pepper
while this
spray,
guy is
which
talking and
another
he's still lying.
de-escalation technique. Those techniques did not work.
Obviously, they didn't work. You fucking little weasel. I hate that guy. Oh, I hate that guy. But even like Mike said earlier, even Fox News is having a hard time containing this. And crackhead Kash Patel decided to go on and talk about it. And every time this guy talks, it's a complete disaster because this guy doesn't know what he's doing. None of these people have.
He's one of the most unqualified people to ever achieve any post in the world.
Really, literally, yeah. Most of these people are like they talk about merit-based system, and then they've hired people that are complete muppets. It's crazy. This guy wrote children's books about Donald Trump being a king. I'm not kidding. Like 3 of them.
What can you tell us?
Great to be with you, Maria. And look, Secretary Noem stated it perfectly. You do not get to attack law enforcement officials in this country without any repercussions. You do not get to do that in Minnesota.
Yes,
LA,
you
or
do
anywhere
actually.
else.
That's
and the interagency is leading the charge out there. We've already arrested with the interagency those that violated the FACE Act and impeded a peaceful prayer in church. We've already just last night arrested 4 more individuals involved in the damage of government property that we saw the videos of online. We've arrested other individuals who've made threats to law enforcement.
Notice
online.
he's not answering
So
her
we are
question
not
at
messing
all.
around.
No.
It doesn't have to be in person. If you threaten law enforcement officials or civilians, we are going to come find you.
Oh, it
And as
doesn't
for
have to
this
be in
latest
person.
shooting,
So now
yes,
what you say
DHS and
online
HSI
is
are the
gonna
lead,
get
and the
you, huh?
FBI is processing the physical evidence. So we're in possession of the firearm, which is going to go to our laboratory. But as Secretary Noem said, no one who wants to be peaceful shows up at a protest with a firearm that is loaded with 2 full magazines.
Oh, so now we cannot peacefully carry our guns anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the Second Amendment is bullshit.
Doctor Who fan has another good point. Don't they understand that in the 30s you could get away with it? Now people have cameras. You can't spin it.
Right.
Here's the greatest thing about that. Fascism, as we know it in human history, requires secrecy and lies and conspiracy. But never before, every year that passes, the next group of assholes that try to become a fascist dictatorship, they don't understand there's no modern fascism playbook.
Right.
There's just fascism. There's just the tactics you use. So the more and more people that can get the truth out, you're right. It's going to be really hard to hoodwink an entire population. And that's what's happening right now. The reason so many people protested in Minnesota the other day, a couple of days ago, there was a huge general strike and tens of, if not hundreds of thousands of people protested across Minnesota. The reason that works is because you could see it now. Back in the day, if the newspaper didn't report it, there might not have even been a picture about it. But now there's video evidence, there's physical evidence, there's pictures, there's people talking about it live.
Yeah.
You can't hide your fascism anymore. So I don't know how this plays out because they're doing it just like it is the 1930s. They were on, that guy was on an interview while they were playing the video where the guy was unarmed and he's like, that guy was armed and dangerous.
He was waving his gun around.
Oh yeah, like that's not real. Like, we're watching it.
Right. Are we watching the same videos? What videos are you watching? Because we all saw, I didn't even know he had a gun until a few hours later, because he never even reached for it when they were beating the shit out of him on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't know. Some people's reactions might have been a little different. But just so you can see that what is going on in Minnesota right now, it's not good. This is from yesterday, but this is to give you an idea.
Being armed does not make you dangerous. That is
Being
the fundamental argument.
Dangerous.
That is the fundamental argument the NRA makes and the entire Republican Party makes whenever anyone says we should have more gun control.
Right.
The entire right goes, just because you have guns doesn't mean you're a threat to anyone.
Right.
Well, according to our government, yes, it does.
Unless you voted for Trump. That's the problem right now, is they say that if we have a gun at all, and we did not support Donald Trump, or we against ICE, or we're anti-capitalist or anti-racist or whatever, now we're a threat because we're all domestic terrorists.
Proud anti-fascist, always will be.
Absolutely. Proud tradition. So here's just to give you an idea of what's happening right now. I heard one ICE officer actually literally said, hey, this is like Call of Duty. Just to give you an idea how dumb these assholes are.
Wow, that was the big.
These are all unarmed people, by the way.
Here I am, man. Fuck you, bastard. Get the fuck. You was walking away. Get the fuck. What's wrong with you? The perpetrator. Fuck you.
You're murderers! You're murderers!
It's hard to watch. Yeah, this is hard to watch. Looks like a fucking war zone, don't it? Like we're in fucking Mogadishu again or something.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's Trump's America, guys.
Just so you know, if you're going to a protest and you happen to have a leaf blowers are very good against tear gas. In fact, it tends to blow it back at the people who threw the tear gas.
Could you imagine we all just show up
Also,
giant fans and shit?
Also, if you're going to go to a protest, make sure you're wearing gloves, nice, good, thick gloves, preferably work gloves, because then if someone throws a canister at you, what you do is you quickly run up to it, grab it, and throw it back at them.
Yeah, if you see a guy, a lot of people are just kicking them back at him. Yep. But it doesn't matter, you know. I mean, it's got to fill the entire neighborhood. I mean, you could be blocks away, and you're going to be affected by shit like that. So that's America, guys. I don't know about you, but I don't feel all safe and shit. We were promised he was going to make it safe. Now I feel like I have to carry a gun everywhere I go. That is not safety. That is not a good way to live.
Currently in America, with the Second Amendment, if you like to carry a gun with you and your state permits it, you're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to get a gun. I don't want to have to carry a gun. I don't want to have to think about guns. But we're at the point now where if people come door to door, you're not getting into my house. You're not coming into my house unless you slip that warrant underneath the door and I could read it. That's how this is going to go.
They're going to kick the wrong door in one day, and they're going to find out the hard way. Yep. And I guarantee once bullets start flying in their direction, you are really going to find out who's a soldier and who's down for this shit, who's not.
Again,
I guarantee ICE agents would be bouncing fast.
People on the left also enjoy guns, and they're going to find out, unfortunately. They're going to find out.
Yeah. So anyways, again, like I guess I'll end the show with be peaceful until peace is no longer an option. Just leave it at that. I don't even want to elaborate on that anymore. You know what I mean? We love you all. James and I will be on tomorrow night at 9:00 with another episode of the Derp State. Got a good show lined up for you guys. And then
are we doing a show Tuesday?
I was thinking, I don't know if I'm going to do it. Maybe not, because I'm going to be going, because I'm going to be all over the internet on
you're going to be
Friday,
busy
Saturday.
That,
because I'll be in Philly with the Black Panthers, and I'm going to be going. I'm going to try and go to the ice facility there and see what's going on there.
Maybe if you want, we take Tuesday off. That's fine, and then
that works because Philly's one of the next targets. DC is going to be a hotbed again, and we're going to be going there too.
All right.
And it's just getting more and more intense. So, we understand the risks. I know what I'm doing when I go out in the streets. I understand I might not come home. And that's crazy to say that in the United States, that I may leave one day. And you got to get into your head. You know what I'm saying? If this could happen to any of us. This could happen to any of us at any fucking time. Wrong place, wrong time, you're dead.
We are at the point in the story.
I'm not trying to fearmonger.
We're at the point in the story where Anne Frank is hiding in the attic.
Yeah.
That's where we are right now.
We'll get through it though. But all we have is community. So we got to start building our communities locally and nationally. As fast as possible. We cannot wait for the election. Elections are not going to solve anything at this point. I'm afraid. We were kind of optimistic at one point, but right now not seeing it. I hope I'm wrong.
We shall see.
Vote our way out of this, but historically speaking, no fascist or dictator has ever been voted out. So anyway, have a good rest of your day. Love you all, and we'll see you.